And we're back with another episode of Franchise My Business, the podcast for franchisors, hosted by franchisors. I'm your host, Kevin Oldham, and we're going to dive into something that I find myself doing a lot as a franchisor, which is finding inspiration for our organization outside of our organization. And so I'm going to give you an example. We recently came back from a family vacation in Branson, Missouri. So if you're not familiar with Branson, Missouri, it's just a kind of a tourist haven here in the state of Missouri. And one of the things that my family and I did in order to kind of find restaurants that were not as populated with tourists is we went off of the main highway to, find meals and things like that. And one day we were driving by this really, really cool coffee shop, and it was made out of it was a drive-through, and it was made out of a shipping container. It was called Table Rock Coffee Roasters. And all of a sudden, I just start taking pictures as we're driving by. And my wife's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Honey, I'm taking pictures because I feel like that shipping container is a potential way that we could expand our franchise, because we're always looking at ways that we could economically bring a drive-through model to market." Okay. And so I'm just taking pictures, boom, boom, boom. And then I just had a meeting with our franchisees, and we all started talking about this. And it was like, oh, cool. We're gathering inspiration outside of our franchise. Another example, and I guess I'm blessed because I travel. I get to travel quite a bit, either whether it's for work or personal. A lot of times when we're flying in airports, I'm taking pictures of, kiosks and unique concepts and things like that. And I'm just kind of putting them away. I'm sharing them with my business partner. We're getting these ideas from other types of organizations. They may be other food service organizations. They may not even be a food service organization. It may just be like a really cool way that somebody has done something. It was clever or whatever. And I decided to, take a picture of it, put it in our notes, and then file it away mentally in my filing cabinet for future use, because that inspiration could be used months, days, years later down the line to do something really cool for your company. Okay. And so my headline here is, particularly if you find yourself in an innovation rut, you're having a hard time solving a problem. Maybe you're having a hard time solving a big problem. And this goes for any business. It doesn't have to be a franchise. Maybe you're having a hard time solving a problem. Maybe you're having a hard time generating ideas. Like, it just feels like whatever's happening in your head isn't what's normal, and you're kind of stuck. Cool. Go outside of your industry. Go for a walk. Do something different to break your pattern so that you can expose yourself to other things. And one of the things that I have found, and I think this is probably true for a lot of people, is that most of my innovation does not happen when I'm sitting in front of my computer or sitting in our office or sitting in one of our shops. A lot of times it happens in the in-between spaces as I'm just going through life, right? Could be driving to the office. It could be traveling internationally. It could be a variety of things. But what I've found is that most of my amazing business ideas, most of the breakthroughs I've had, all those things that really, rarely happen when I'm super close to things. And typically it's those spaces in between where most of the inspiration happens. And when there's inspiration, a lot of times that can trigger innovation. And innovation can trigger really, really cool things for your franchise and for your business. Until next time, I'm your host, Kevin Oldham, and I have two asks. Number one, if you like what we're doing, I'd love it if you would subscribe to the show. And number two, if you like what we're doing, I'd really love to hear feedback in terms of a review on whatever platform you're listening. Until next time, I hope that you have a phenomenal week and be well.